And I'm sure that the Quran we have today is probably not even as close as to what was back in the days, because even during the time of Muhammad will be walking and he hears somebody praying, and then he's memorizing a certain verse, and he say, God have mercy on him because he reminded me of certain verses that
That's Bukhari. I mean, this is amazing. This is their own sources that Muhammad is forgetting the verses.
Forgetting. So imagine the other ones.
Yeah, he also says that Allah made him to forget.
That's one
the
of
weirdest thing ever.
So he has to come up with a way to justify it. If you are the prophet of Allah, and you're forgetting your own revelation, how are you going to explain it to me as a follower? So you have to come up with certain justification. You say, well, God made me forget it because he was going to erase it. Then why he revealed it?
But then this guy still doesn't forget it.
Oh yeah, Allah just erased it from your thumb drive, but he forgot that thumb drive.
Yeah, and so Allah's making the Muslim community forget a verse, but one guy's memory is too strong.
He missed him.
And Muhammad is thankful towards him for remembering that.
The problem is why he revealed it, if he's going to erase it.
Yeah.
Welcome to today's video, where we address a claim made by critics like David Wood and Brother Rashid. They allege that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, forgot parts of the Quran, questioning how the Quran could still be preserved. They mock this incident, claiming it undermines the Quran's authenticity. Let's break down their arguments and provide a detailed response in sections. The critics point to a hadith from Sahih Bukhari, which states that the Prophet, peace be upon him, once heard a companion reciting a verse of the Quran and said, "May Allah have mercy on him. He reminded me of such and such verse." David and Rashid argue, 1. The Prophet, peace be upon him, forgetting verses shows a flaw in his prophethood. 2. He justified this forgetfulness by saying, "Allah caused me to forget." 3. This, they claim, raises doubts about the Quran's preservation. Let's examine their arguments logically and in light of Islamic teachings. First, it's important to remember that prophets are human beings. The Quran itself says, "Say, I am only a human being like you, receiving revelation." Surah Al-Kahf 18:110. Forgetfulness is a natural human characteristic. Even the most intelligent and pious individuals forget things occasionally. The Prophet's, peace be upon him, forgetfulness was not habitual, but rare. It demonstrated his humanity and served as a lesson for his followers. 1. To rely on the collective effort of the Muslim community for Quran preservation. 2. To show humility and honesty in acknowledging human limitations. Critics misunderstand how the Quran was preserved. The Prophet's, peace be upon him, forgetfulness did not impact its integrity because the Quran was safeguarded through multiple mechanisms. 1. Oral memorization. The Quran was memorized by hundreds of companions during the Prophet's, peace be upon him, lifetime. If the Prophet, peace be upon him, forgot a verse temporarily, the companions would remind him. 2. Written compilation. Verses were written down under the Prophet's, peace be upon him, supervision on materials like parchment, bones, and leather. This ensured that no verse was lost. 3. Repetition and practice. The Quran was recited daily in prayers and studied in gatherings, reinforcing its memorization. Even today, millions of Muslims memorize the Quran, word for word, preserving it across generations. Let's analyze their claim logically. The Prophet's honesty. If the Prophet, peace be upon him, were fabricating the Quran, why would he admit to forgetting verses? A fabricator would try to appear flawless, but the Prophet, peace be upon him, openly acknowledged his human limitations. 2. The collective role. The Quran's preservation was not solely reliant on the Prophet's, peace be upon him, memory. It was a collective effort of the entire Muslim community. His temporary forgetfulness highlighted the importance of teamwork in preserving the Quran. Islamic scholars have addressed this issue comprehensively. Dr. Yasir Qadi, a prominent scholar, explains, the Prophet's, peace be upon him, forgetfulness was a natural human trait. It also served to demonstrate that the Quran's preservation was a communal responsibility, ensuring it would never depend on one individual alone. Additionally, Shaykhul Islam Ibn Taymiyyah states, forgetting verses was part of divine wisdom. It emphasized the Quran's role as a living document, adapting to the circumstances of its time while remaining timeless in its guidance. In conclusion, the allegation that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, forgot parts of the Quran fails to hold up under scrutiny. His temporary forgetfulness demonstrated his humanity, highlighted Allah's wisdom and revelation, did not affect the Quran's preservation, thanks to the meticulous efforts of the companions. The Quran we have today is exactly as it was revealed over 1400 years ago, unchanged and preserved. Thank you for watching. If you found this explanation helpful, please share this video to spread the truth about Islam. Stay tuned for more responses to common misconceptions. Assalamu alaikum.